with a very, very incredible life. And I can understand why Hollywood takes this subject. With some modification, it could be very interesting. But for me, the question was how be engaged in the field of science and more in the society at this time when we arrive in a situation as I tried to describe you 1 century ago, with this is real separation, and you cannot stay in France when you are a Jesuit during 10 years. So you cannot, yes, it was very difficult to have an official existence. But even if it was this situation, try to find a good way to take responsibility, to have his own influence on the society at this time. I think that's a reason. It's a very at the same time, I think that this man has a sort of real. Yes, he was already coming from France. It was clear when you see, when you read it, we read him when you can watch picture. We have a lot of pictures of Teilhard. It's a sort of French look, and it belongs at the same time to his own history, sort of legend sometimes, probably some legend.
What was that scandal about a skull which was fraudulent in England?
Yes.
Dawson found a skull, and Chardin's name came up in connection with that.
You're right. The Piltdown man.
Yeah.
Yes, this story is, when I wrote a biography of Teilhard last year, I chose to mention this point of history. And certain member of the Association of Teilhard de Chardin criticized me to do that. The question is that at this time was just at the beginning, just before the First World War. Scientists in London, you know perhaps the story, or I make a very summarize the situation. Teilhard was in England as student, as a Jesuit student, but was very interested in science, and he take part to discoveries, and specific in this case of discovery of very strange fact was present as the first Englishman or the first man on the English territory. A sort of concurrent of l'homme de Cro-Magnon man in France. So it was a sort of national debate, or national challenge between England and France concerning the most old man, something like that. And they discovered the Piltdown man. It was the main responsible of this discovery was a scientist of the British Museum. And he promoted this discovery, and Teilhard was around this history. He was a young student, and he take part to the discovery. But something like 30 years after, people discovered that it was a fraud, falsification. The bottom was from a man, and the jaw was from an ape. It was falsification. And after that arrived and especially in your country, to know who was the responsible of this falsification. Probably this member of the British Museum, but the other, and especially Teilhard de Chardin. And you can find very good, very interesting page coming from Stephen Jay Gould from Harvard, I think, Harvard University, or Harvard, I think so. And because for Gould, Teilhard was a Jesuit, and probably was totally responsible of this falsification, and was totally conscious of the falsification. And he tried to explain that. And the other arrived, the friends of Teilhard arrived and said, no, Gould is wrong, because, and I decided to offer this topic in my biography, saying that you cannot forget this sort of page of history. It belongs to the biographer of a man. But one of the most important conclusions of this episode of the life of Teilhard is probably that it was the first time that he had the occasion to be interested by the human ancestor and all the anthropological dimension of science, of biology. Until this time, it was more, and always, his first topic was geology.